Hi guys, today's video is another story time. I swear I'm not becoming a story time channel, but today I'm going to tell you about the time that I got canceled on Twitter. I want to start by saying I was 14 when this happened, and the side of Twitter that I was on, I should have not have been on. And you can clearly see that by the way I was acting on Twitter. So it was 2020. I was on Not Safe for Twitter. Again, I was 14 at the time, which that really doesn't excuse what I did. I was not educated at all. And I tweeted something that was not like, okay. If you don't know what Not Safe for Twitter, it's basically just, and I was on that side of Twitter, which red flag number one, why was I on that side of Twitter? Number two, at that time, there was a lot of discourse about he/him lesbians, which, if you don't know what he/him lesbians are, I'll put a link in the description down below. It's basically just somebody who's using he/him pronouns, one, in protection, or two, just because they like it. And from what I read, a lot of butch lesbians will use he/him pronouns as, like, to not face more discrimination than lesbians already do. So at that time, I had tweeted out, it was like something about he/him lesbians. I think I said like, he/him lesbians are not real or something like that. It was something that at the time I was like, okay girl, why would you tweet that? And I'd kind of figured it out after, but it snowballed into this whole thing, and I pretty much got canceled, like, to the point where people were threatening to dox me. Like, that's how bad it was. And my best friend almost got doxed too. Like, she was literally a ride or die. She still is a ride or die. Love you, Cal. She was literally defending me tooth and nail. She was like, actually, like, or she'd be like, you're 32, trying to dox a 14-year-old. Shouldn't you be doing your taxes? So, I tweeted that. And I don't have the exact screenshot, like, of that because my account got banned because I blocked Elon Musk. I 100% believe that. I 100% believe the reason why my account got banned is because I blocked Elon Musk. I don't have an exact screenshot, but I do have screenshots at that time, people responding to me about it. There was one that said, can non-lesbians shut the fuck up? It's crazy how non-lesbians are always in lesbian discourse, which is so funny because I literally 3 years later, or no, am I bad at math? I come out as a lesbian. Literally after that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely a lesbian. Which, a little backstory, around that time I had been like, am I a lesbian? Like, I was having like the thoughts of like, maybe I am a lesbian, like maybe I don't actually like men, because the thing about me is I only liked fictional men or unattainable men or men that lived 100 freaking miles away who I could not interact with on a day-to-day basis, so I did not have to interact with them. And then if I ever got to the point of having a boyfriend, let's just say I was not a good girlfriend. I was a horrible girlfriend. And then I sat down, and thank you to the lesbian master doc, because that helped me like really like sit down and like be like, girl, you don't like men. And then I was like, okay, I'm a lesbian. So looking back on that tweet, I'm like, wow, that's so funny. Like, I was 14 and was really uneducated, which I don't want to blame it on my age, but my age was a factor in it, because I was like I was not really like in the community enough to understand like those like terminologies and what that stuff meant. So I was just tweeting what I saw other people tweeting, and I tweeted it, and it snowballed into something bigger than what I thought it was going to snowball into, because I only had like 100 followers on that account. Like, it was just like a very small account, and it just snowballed into something more than what I thought it was going to. And I'm glad that it snowballed into what it snowballed into, because after that, like, I think like an hour after that, I like read like the history and all that stuff behind it, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, and I think I did delete the tweet after that, but I was like, wow, I'm such an idiot. And then I deleted the tweet. So I learned pretty fast. I was like, oh, I'm just dumb. I'm just dumb. But the damage was already done, and I was pretty much getting canceled on Twitter. They were trying to dox me. Like, that was crazy. And it was 2020. So we were in quarantine. I think this was like right after quarantine had like started up. So everybody was online, and I was so close to getting doxxed. My best friend was almost close to getting doxxed because she was like defending me tooth and nail. Like, every comment that was underneath my thing, she was defending me. I had my face on my thing, like showing like my picture. People saved my picture on their phones and were like posting them on their things, and then that brought more traction. I remember going on some account, I think it was like a furry account, and they were like, this stupid bitch, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And I was like, oh my god, the furries are getting me too, everybody's getting me. I was getting jumped. And then I had people also defending me, which crazy. Like, there was like people reposting it and like retweeting it, and I was like, oh my god. Like, I'm telling you, when it snowballed, it snowballed. I've also learned that gender and pronouns are not the same thing. People can use whatever pronouns they want. I literally use she, they pronouns, which I think at the time I also used she, they pronouns when I tweeted that. Like, what was I thinking? Literally, what was I thinking? Looking back on it, I'm like, girl, you're dumb. Like, literally rocks for brains, because what were you literally thinking? And I'm glad people on Twitter took the time to educate me, even though I was being an idiot and like arguing with them back and forth. And to those people, I want to say thank you, because I was so dumb. And who cares? Really, who cares? Like, if you want to use a certain pronoun, go ahead. Like, it does not matter. And as I've really come into my lesbianism, and I've like got more into the community, because I still was like a baby gay at the time. Like, I had just came out I think the year before that or 2 years before that, so I was like not really into the community as I am now. And what I've learned is, who cares? Literally, who cares? Like, pronouns don't mean anything. The way you dress don't mean anything. Like, there's so many ways to express yourself, and that's also another topic in itself. What I mean by that's a whole nother topic in itself. We, as a community, and I mean the gay community, we are not like, you can say you're gay and you can be gay, but queerness is so much more than that. And coming to terms with that, like, really mind blown. Saying you're gay, identifying as gay, being in the gay community is not the same as being in the queer community, in my opinion, from what I've read and learned about it. Okay, I realized I started to get rambly, but basically what I'm saying is, whenever I say I got more into the queer community, I mean I've seen it I've like learned a lot, and I've just been in spaces with lesbians, trans people, bisexuals, pansexuals, asexuals, all that. I've really got into my queerness, and I've really sat down and been like, wow, whenever I say stuff like that, that actually hurts people who I hold near and dear to my heart, and I hold the queer community near and dear to my heart. And whenever I said that, which I was 14, so I obviously wasn't like as educated as I am now. I was 19 years old, and I'm like, wow, like, girl, what are you talking about? And that's why I say I'm in the queer community, and I've like really come to terms with my queerness.
I think there's a difference between being LGBT and being queer. I think you're born LGBT. I think you choose to be queer. And what I mean by that is that queerness is a long, deep, vast community. And it is a rejection of norms. And it is a reverence and a deference to being different. It is not trying to recreate models that are not in my nature or preference, right? Like, it is choosing to understand that, like, my life will never look like a cisgender straight person's. That's just never going, I will not fit into the cishet model. And instead of trying to squeeze myself into that, I can actually radically accept that I am just completely different from that model. And so is everyone else within that confine, right? Like, queerness does not mean gay male community. Queerness is having, you know, gender nonconforming friends, lesbian friends, listening to lesbian music, going to lesbian spaces and not being the star of the show, right? Like, as a gay man, that's what that means for me, is decentering, because we're kind of the, like, mascot of, like, LGBT, you know? But, like, I think when you're really in a queer community, trans women, trans people are at the center of this. And I posted a YouTube video that goes much more into depth about this and how it ties into politics and the ever mushrooming, you know, demographic of Republican and conservative LGBT people, and how I do think it's actually important to draw the line between LGBT and queer, because I'm about protecting my community, my queer community, and not everyone that's LGBT is in that community, because there are people who are LGBT who are anti-queer. So if you want to hear more about this, go watch my YouTube. That's where I'm really enjoying posting a lot these days. So see you there.
Sorry, I kind of got off topic and got a little rambly. I really am, like, really passionate about this topic. But yeah, so that's how I got canceled on Twitter. I said something stupid. I learned, obviously, from my mistakes. I'm not like those people who learn from their mistake or get canceled and then they turn around and do it again. Could not be me. I learn from myself, and I'm always learning. Like, you learn every day. No matter how old you get, you learn every day. And I'm glad that there was people there to teach me and be like, girl, you're dumb. You're dumb. Instead of automatically just attacking me and like calling me names and all that stuff. Like, some people actually sat down and had the topic with me. And I was a kid at the time, but I learned it pretty fast. And that's pretty much basically the little moral of the story. Just because you're a kid, which you can make mistakes, but you can learn from them and you can really grow from them, and that's what I did. But yeah, that's how I got canceled on Twitter. Sorry I got a little rambly at the end. I'm just really passionate about this. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!